Hey all, and welcome to the podcast. And I am super excited to be able to do this once again. And here today with us, I've got my friend Gary, and I'm going to have Gary just really quickly. Why don't you introduce yourself to the folks and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you putting this together too. My name is Gary Manske. I have been in the, we'll say, Microsoft ecosystem for close to 20 years. Done a lot of different things from sales and marketing activities, product management, and a lot of different company experiences, whether that's with an ISV, with an SI, startups, um, all kinds of fun things. And that includes everything from, communications, through all the other modern work pieces and building alliances and relationships. And I love talking to people and I love building businesses and building high performing teams.
Cool. Awesome. You and I know that you and I have had the pleasure of running across each other and working together in the past, so super excited for this. Why don't you tell people as you kind of look forward and say, hey, what would I want to do as part of my next adventure? What would that look like for you?
Yeah, great question. And I'm kind of a jack of all trades, masters of none. Um, that's kind of harsh because I'm pretty conservative in my approach to things.
Yeah.
Uh, so what I'm looking for is the ability to lead a team. I want to lead a team of sellers and marketers, and really take an organization, into the next level. So am I interested in a hyperscaler? And maybe if there's some small teams and it's entrepreneurial.
Mhm.
Am I interested in startups and other things? Yes, but my goal here again is to help teams excel, provide leadership, provide some business consulting throughout that as well, and just help an organization take themselves to the next level and grow.
Awesome. I love your comment there on leadership and just building a team. What, from your perspective, what are some of those skill sets in leadership that you think that you bring to the table that you're like, I'm really passionate around this aspect? Because leadership is a broad topic. So, like from that standpoint, what are some of those skills in leadership that you think are just really important that you feel like you can shine with?
Yeah, great question. And a lot of things come to mind. My mind goes 15 different directions, but let's focus this down a little bit, specifically to your question. Um, I enjoy understanding who people are and what their strengths are, and maybe what some of their challenges are, and understanding where they want to go in their career. So, there's a couple of quotes that come to mind or things that come to mind. One is, you're not going to ask the fish to climb a tree, right? You've heard that before. So understanding what that person's skill sets are, what their capabilities are, and where they want to go in life, and how we mesh that up, right? I think the second thing that comes to mind is a phrase out of EOS, so the Enterprise Operating System,
Yeah.
and the book Traction and so on, which I felt pivotal a couple of different times. It's get it, want it, that kind of approach. And so if you've got somebody that gets what you're trying to do and wants to help be on the bandwagon and has the capability to do it, that's the ultimate success. So, finding those folks that maybe don't have all of the skill sets needed, but they're willing to learn and they really want it. I find that that's probably more important sometimes than it is some of the specific skill set. Of
Yeah.
course, when you're selling into enterprise customers, you need to understand, what is that ecosystem, how you build rapport, and all those kinds of things. So I'm not really talking about the basics. I'm talking more
Yeah.
about, advancing one's career, in the more advanced opportunities.
I love that actually, and so I'm going to follow up that with a question of you're talking about that for the people you want to lead today. What are some of those things? And I always use this term, and I'm I'm sure I heard it from somebody, but I'm totally capturing it for my own at this point. Is what are you doing to hone your craft today within your time that you have right now?
Well, being completely honest, I don't have a lot of time at the moment. But it's,
Okay.
we talked earlier about, digging the well before you need the water.
Yeah.
And, my network has been curated for a long time. And when I saw your post come up, I'm like, oh, there's another opportunity to reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
Part of that as well is I'm volunteering my time to help a friend with his startup. He doesn't have a
Nice.
lot of capital right now. It's a very early stage startup SaaS company. So, I'm pretty busy helping him while I also reach out to, other folks in the network to understand what's going on, what they see, if they have any recommendations. Um, so that's kind of what I've been filling my time with.
Awesome.
Um, I think a lot of people are either afraid to reach out to contacts that they haven't talked to for years.
Yeah.
And I want to just encourage people to go ahead and do that because um, the last several roles that I've held, right, they have all been through referral.
Mm.
It's been talking with someone that I know that says, hey, you'd be a great fit to this.
Yeah.
Um, but whether that's when I am employed and looking for the next step, or at this point when, my position was eliminated and I'm looking for something new.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to reach out to those contacts.
Absolutely. That's a great point. And I love just kind of how you and I were chatting around before this, around how we be relational, ultimately. And I think that's just a missing skill set these days for a lot of folks. We kind of got trained during the last 5 years of, hey, stay kind of arm's distance apart, and now it's like, hey, we need to get back together. So I love it. As we kind of come to the end here, Gary, how can people get a hold of you? What's the best way for them to get a hold of you? Just kind of give some ways, and then what we'll do is we'll put all that stuff back in the show notes at the bottom, as well, so people can just reach out directly.
Yeah, a couple of things come to mind. One, of course, LinkedIn. Gary Manske, and you'll be able to tell. I think there's a couple of Gary Manskes out there, believe it or not, but I'm not a film producer, so it's the other one. And I think I'll probably come up more often if another gentleman will anyway. But I think you can find me through my Google searches. And then also, of course, through email, Gary.Manske@outlook.com. And,
Perfect.
happy to, whether it's an opportunity for me, if it's somebody that I know that I can connect somebody with, if it's a question someone has that I might be able to help them out with their business related to Microsoft partnerships, related to business in general, whatever it might be. I want to be a resource and, and help others as I find the right opportunity for me going forward.
Awesome, Gary. Hey, well, I'm so thankful that you were able to take some time out of your day from volunteering to join us here today on the podcast. And like I said, we'll put all these things up on how to contact Gary in the show notes, and hope that you'll tune in for the next one. Thanks, all.
Thank you. Thanks, Adam.